Hey guys, today I'm going to be going over how to do the electrochemical chameleon lab. This one gave me a little bit of trouble and it's not very often done, so I wanted to give you guys kind of the lessons I learned from doing this experiment. So the entire point of this lab is to show electrolysis using pH indicator to kind of show which electrode is producing which gas. And so we are going to have a bunch of household chemicals, and that is going to actually take up a lot of the class time, is having them make their indicator solutions. And so what I did is I had each group make a series of indicator solutions, and we labeled the vials with Sharpies so that we could reuse these in previous year or in future years and not have to worry about residue from something basic being left over in the material. So just make sure each table group gets a set of 1 through 8, and then what we did is we would have them put some red cabbage juice indicator solution into the vials and then come up and either add, a squirt of vinegar or lemon juice, and we would have all these plastic beakers filled with the product so that if they spilled, it wasn't as wasteful, just in case anything got knocked over. The most challenging part of that was kind of keeping them engaged while their other classmates were making the solutions. So just be prepared to kind of talk about the experiment or answer questions about energy and batteries in general, so that you can kind of fill that time while everybody's setting up. And so I kind of glossed over, but you're going to prepare this bottle full of cabbage juice indicator before you start teaching the class, and it's just 8 to 10 scoops of the red cabbage juice indicator, and then you fill it preferably with DI water so that you can have a nice range of pH indicator solution, and the pHs are indicated by the colors there. I would kind of have them guess what they would think the chemical was going to be, whether it was going to be an acid or a base, before they actually got the chemical back to their workstation. That way it kind of engaged them a little bit more while we were setting up and preparing for it. The other thing that they're going to do after they've prepared all of their indicator solutions is they're going to run the electrolysis experiment. So for this, what they're going to do is they're going to have their cabbage juice indicator, and you want to make sure that it actually has a decent amount of color in it. If there's not enough indicator solution in there, you won't be able to see the color change in the reaction. So you want it to be pretty bold when it's in their reaction containers, and then they need to add an electrolyte into their container in order to conduct the electrolysis and to move the charges from the battery. So we use Epsom salt for that, and what I did is I kind of kept that up at the front so that they would just take a generous spoonful of the Epsom salt and kind of mix it in, and that way we were able to make the Epsom salt last for the entire 3 classes that we ended up doing that day. And so once they mix it in, they're going to go ahead and they're going to take 2 kind of plastic transfer pipettes, and you can cut off the ends so that it has a little bit of a wider opening at the base, and that way it has a better opportunity to catch the bubbles that are being produced. And so what they're going to do is they're going to put these over the thumbtacks that are in the bottom of the dish, and you want them to go ahead and squeeze and suck up some solution so that the electrodes are at an even level. And because at one electrode you're going to be producing oxygen, and at the other electrode you're going to be producing hydrogen gas, you'll be able to notice a difference in the gas accumulation at the electrodes. And so that can kind of tell you which one is your cathode and which one is your anode in this experiment. And so once they have it set up this way, what they're going to do is they're going to hold the tips in the solution, and they're going to, it's kind of hard to do with one person, they normally do it with partners, they're going to place it over a battery, the 9-volt battery, so that one thumbtack is touching the positive terminal and the other is touching the negative. And you should see that it starts to produce gas pretty quickly, and you'll see more gas produced at one contact than the other. As this reaction goes on, you'll start to see a change in the color of the indicator solution, with the side that is producing the oxygen getting more acidic and the side that is producing the hydrogen gas getting more basic. And so they'll kind of watch this go for a few minutes and can make different observations with it. And then we just had them dispose of the solution afterwards down the drain. And if you do a close-up of this now, you should be able to see, oh my goodness, that one of the pipettes is green and the other one is pink. And so we've been able to successfully monitor the reaction. And it's a pretty short experiment, so I took a lot more time going through electrolysis. I had YouTube videos of how a hydrolysis reaction was proposed for a battery, and kind of talked about why we don't see it currently. And so hopefully this works out really well for you guys, and hopefully this was helpful. Bye.